Hey there everyone, it's Eternal Snowman, and I'm here for another TLT predictions video. Um, Sorry this is so late. I actually wasn't planning on doing this because I was super busy this week because the term just ended for me and I had a bunch of work and stuff, blah blah. So I just got back home and I have time now to record for the next couple weeks because I'm on break. And so I'm going to talk about the matchups, but then at the end of this video, if you're interested, stick around, and I'm also going to be talking about some of the things that I'm going to do moving forward with this channel because I have a lot of time these next couple of weeks, and I do want to do something a little extra for the YouTube. So maybe expanding into other stuff other than Pokemon, maybe doing some different series with Pokemon, like Let's Plays possibly, or like some lives where I kind of just like build some random teams and do some random testing, and then also do maybe some tier list stuff, kind of like the stuff I've done before with the Ubers stuff. I probably will be uploading something that gives my opinions on the preliminary Ultra Sun and Moon stuff, and then maybe I'll also go through and analyze my Ubers playoffs matchup against TG, the Trap God, of course. But so if you're interested in that, then stick around until the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into the matchups. This is out really late. It's actually Friday when I'm recording this, and when I'll be uploading it as well. But actually, surprisingly, only one person has gotten it done. So that's why, or sorry, one matchup has been finished, and that's why I decided to record because if like too many of the matchups had already finished, then I would have like there wouldn't really be that much of a point in play in like recording it. But I did want to go through all the matchups and kind of just give my thoughts on everything. This is the first round I'm not going to be in because I did take the loss against Pradhan last week, kind of because I memed, if you saw my video on that. But that's okay. I'm still going to be covering the rest of TLT. The only thing I will probably be dropping is the TLT recap videos where I go through and do like all the like the different replays and stuff, because one, that's really taxing and takes up a ton of time, and two, they don't seem to be as popular, probably because people don't want to sit through our video just to see that kind of stuff. So I'll probably just be dropping those, but I will be doing the prediction videos, and I'll probably be doing maybe like some sort of top 8 video, which will be in 2 rounds, and just to kind of like go through every single player and do kind of like a breakdown, like a longer video as well, for the prediction. But anyway, for that, let's just go through the matchups. The first round, first match is FMG versus Peachy Clouds. I expect FMG to take this, but actually Peachy Clouds has been really underrated, especially by me, because they've, in my opinion, have like had a relatively easy matchups because their hardest or the round they essentially had played Bdov in round the previous round before this, who I believe was probably like one of the weaker players going into winners last winners round 4, and they're on Peachy Clouds is on the upper side of the bracket, which I believe to be easier, but FMG is actually really good, so this should be a really good test. If Peachy Clouds actually manages to be super solid, then I would rank them a lot higher, like overall, but I don't know whether or not they're going to be actually good, because really the only times I've seen them play their TLT matches have been like solid, but also against players who I believe aren't as good, in my opinion at least. So I don't really know how good they are, but like their BLT plays against like when they were playing Ubers and BLT, I thought was like pretty bad in general. However, they've showed a really dominant performance in general in TLT, so I expect them to put up a good match against FMG. If FMG plays well, though, I expect him to take it because he has been playing super well and won against like a lot of big names like Pradhan, namely, as well as I believe he beat Blink Boy. No. He beat London. That's right. He beat London, who was also playing pretty well. So there's that. And so I expect FMG to take it. Probably going to depend on how well Peachy Clouds prepares for this, but Yeah. Snow Jinri versus Arsenine. I expect Snow Jinri to take it in 2 games. Honestly, I haven't yet to be impressed with Arsenine's performance. Every single week he manages to pull out the win, but I don't know where he manages to pull out the win from because like every single week I expect him to lose. Um, and yet he wins these matches. Wait, let me just pull up the bracket. TLTL. Oh, I can't type. TLT 1. Okay. Um, let's see. Right. He's also had a relatively easy bracket. He beat Villa in kind of like in the round one. I didn't like those games because they were kind of hacksy. He beat Kara, but Kara underperformed in my opinion. Same with Alina. Sorry, I think it's Alina at least. Whatever. Underperformed in their match, but so the Franklin or on Showdown is Arsenine has had a relatively easy bracket up to now. I think Snow Jinri is the favorite to take this side of the bracket of winners through this winner semis. So I think he's going to win this match and probably is going to win the next match too. I think he's a better player than both FMG and Peachy Clouds and better than Arsenine. I expect Snow Jinri to take it in 2 um, and then advance to winners finals after. SMB versus Parivard. I think they're both very solid players. However, Parivard has had such a dominant run up until now, with beating really good players in every single round. Miyoka, Plasmag, and the Cheesin one, I think, are all very good players. Like at least top 16, and I would say Miyoka maybe even higher than that. But SMB has been good so far, but I do think that he's going to fall to Parivard. I think it's going to be a close 3-game set. I believe they did say what tiers they're playing. Parivard is playing. Nope, never mind. They did not say. But if they um, if they do play doubles, then I would say SMB can probably take it. But Parivard probably did ban doubles. He has been relatively intelligent with his bans, like as much as I would expect anyone to ban against the other player. And so SMB will probably drop in 3 games to Parivard. I think SMB is solid, but he isn't an expert in any of the other tiers. While Parivard has like a lot of meta knowledge and just general like playing ability and many different tiers because he doesn't really main any tier. Um, Jordan already beat the big boy. This was probably the highlight match of this round because they have both been really hot and really impressive plays from both of them leading into this round with Big Boy beating Over Dragoon and Leo Numbers and Lissabra, who are all like kind of underrated players, but they're all really good, in my opinion at least. While Jordan has beaten Sanjay and Tempering, and this match was really good. You have to watch the replays yourself, but Jordan did win in 3, and it was a close set, as I would have predicted. And Jordan really seems like a favorite to probably win the entire winners and go into grand finals at this rate because Jordan has been super consistent recently and has been playing super well. And I think that Jordan's probably biggest opponent is going to be Parivard out of everyone left still in winners. That said, that's not the only part of bracket left, as losers is quite stacked, and losers has a lot of good players still left in it. MJ versus Hellraqueza. I'm actually very surprised Hellraqueza didn't manage to beat Alina in the last round, Alina. And even Lightning, I think. It was pretty surprising. Lightning choked those games away really hard, but that's not the point. But HR1 has had a really good run, really overperformed what I believed his capabilities were. As in, I think he's okay. Like, I won't say he's a bad player, but I think he did overperform as a lot of the players that he got matched against, I believed were better than him, at least Lightning and Lena. But he did manage to pull off those wins, so good on him for those. And but however, I don't think he can beat MJ. I think MJ's probably one of the favorites to win at this point in the bracket. It's MJ, Ham, Jordan, and Parivard, and then like SMB probably, and Snow Jinri. Um, but MJ's definitely one of the better players left in this bracket, and I expect him to take the win over Hellraquaza probably in 2 games. MJ has been super good. The only time he's dropped was to Snow Jinri, and those were that was like probably the one time he's really shown weakness. But other than that, I don't believe he's lost any other games. Yes. Okay. The next round is, or the next match, sorry, is London versus Ham. I expect Ham to take it, but it should be close. Both players are really good. I do think Ham is the favorite to win the tournament still at this point, even though he is in losers and whatever. I still think he's the favorite to win. He's been very good up until this point, and like I feel like he plays even better against better opponents, and so it'll be interesting to see how well he does versus London and how well London plays against him, because London does do pretty good prep in general. So if Ham does like not do the necessary legwork before his match, then it's possible that London wins. But I do still favor Ham coming into this match, and I would not be surprised to see 3 games either. And I expect it to be a pretty close set, even if if it is a 2-game set. I would say it's 2 close games. JR Smash versus Miyoka. JR Smash has had some really tough opponents recently in the last few rounds. He has beaten Sanjay, Karo, and then Mysterious M before that, and Blitzberg. I don't want to talk about the previous ones because Blitzberg he kind of hacks, but Mysterious M, like these are all really, really good opponents, and I see no reason why he doesn't beat Miyoka. Miyoka has had a pretty tough opponents himself with Blink Boy and Over Dragoon, but I don't know exactly how the games went because he always hides his games, meaning I can't see them. Whatever. So how good Miyoka is at this point in the tournament is hard to say because I don't know how strong his matches have been. But I think JR Smash has been really good, so I expect it to be a good set. I don't know whether or not we can watch it because it's unlikely that Miyoko is going to let other people watch his replays for whatever reason. Whatever. So I expect it to be a good set though. 3 games probably. But it just depends on what bans have been go through because JR Smash has had questionable banning stuff in general. And Miyoka is really good at dubs and Ubers. So we shall see. And the last matchup is the Cheesin' one versus Pradhan. Probably one of the better matchups of this week. Pretty much every matchup this week is pretty good. I would say the best, like there are a couple that I think are like somewhat one-sided. At least only MJ and Hellraquaza and Snow Jinri versus Ars9 I think are kind of one-sided. But like in general, all the matchups from here on out will be pretty good. Like still, like everyone who's still in TLT is still pretty good. They're not like terrible, and I don't think it's going to be like any blowout matches at least. But Pradhan versus the Cheesin' one is one of the closest ones. They're both very, very good players, and it just depends on who does the legwork, in my opinion, because both players, I don't know how much motivation they have at this point, because all of them have like pretty much, like in my opinion, this tournament, I did kind of touch on this before, but the tournament kind of makes it so that it wasn't there isn't like the most motivation going in, just because the way that the tournament, like the time the tournament was formatted was because like Ultra Sun and Mim just came out, and most people are like doing other stuff regarding that, and so like when you like going back to doing Sun and Min stuff is just really, really demoralizing in my opinion. Just like it takes a lot of mental fortitude to be able to keep doing this kind of stuff. Like for me, that kind of just wore on me. I couldn't like do these things, especially since it wasn't like fun. Since I was playing these tiers, I didn't really enjoy. Um, like the tiers I enjoy playing, like because I have to prep for the um, Uber's playoffs later, but that's also Sun and Moon. But I'm more okay with that because the fact that the I actually enjoy playing Sun and Moon Ubers. So that's fine for prepping that, but like I don't like prepping for like Sun and Moon UU when I know that I'm never going to use those teams again, or Sun and Moon NU when I'm never going to use those teams again, just for that one match. So I don't know. Sometimes like that kind of stuff is just like for the motivation it hurts. But once again, Proton versus Cheesin One, they are playing UU Ubers, which is really bad because I think the Cheesin One is at a heavily disadvantage for versus Pradhan in those bans. Whoever, like, I don't know what he banned, but it wasn't a good look because I think Prod is the best at, like, he has a heavy advantage in OU. There's no questions about that, and I'd be very surprised if the Cheesin One could take the OU game. And UU, I would say Prod is pretty good at UU too, and those two are generally considered his best tiers. That said, the Cheesin One has shown some good stuff recently, especially against Ham and stuff, who he beat in, I believe, round 2 winners. And so I expect it to be a close and good set. But I'd give it to Pradhan probably in 2 or Pradhan in 3 games. How about let's put it that way? I'm going to say Pradhan in 3 games. And yeah, so that's it for round 6 for TLT. Next week's going to be a losers only week, and that'll be fun. Losers is stacked. But the tournament is starting to thin out. This is top 16, meaning that there's only like 4 more weeks of TLT or something like that until it's over, which is not that far away, I guess. Anyway, as promised, I'm going to be talking about the different things I want to do for my channel and what it's going to be moving forward. So I kind of touched on this before, but because I have break this week, I have a lot of different things I can do. I got a new computer, and that means that I can do a lot of more heavy recording stuff, meaning I could record gameplay for World of Warcraft, League of Legends, like these other games I play, Hearthstone, that kind of stuff, which I can't really do on this computer. And that would be interesting if you guys would be interested in that. If just leave whatever you want me to do in the comments section down below if you're actually interested in seeing me do any of that kind of stuff. And that, or the other stuff, I can also do some more of these breakdowns that I have been doing for other matches, or I could also be doing some more showdown playing, so just like laddering with different fun teams, or whatever else, that kind of stuff. Just like I could also do more analysis-based videos with like metagame kind of stuff, with like Ultra Sun and Moon and that kind of stuff. So just tell me what you guys are interested in seeing me do, if anything at all. I don't know if anyone even cares what I do, honestly. Like maybe you guys just don't care, but whatever. I'm looking to expand my YouTube channel just a little bit more. Yeah. So if you want to see me do other games, I can do other stuff. I play Fire Emblem Heroes, World of Warcraft, League, like a lot of different stuff. And then also for TLT, I'm not going to be doing the recap. I did tell you say why at the beginning of the video, so I don't really need to expand on that. I don't believe I'm missing anything, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice winter break, for those of you guys who are on winter break, because I just got on winter break. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time for another TLT video or something else, whatever I decide to put out. So yeah.